Hi, in this Chordious tutorial, I'm going to go through the various ways that you can manage the diagrams that you've saved in your diagram library. This tutorial assumes that you already have Chordious installed, so if you haven't already, go ahead and watch the Chordious installation tutorial video to get started. This video also assumes that you've already saved some diagrams into your diagram library from the chord finder or scale finder. So if you haven't done that either, it's probably a good idea to watch the chord finder or scale finder tutorial videos and follow along and save off some diagrams. Otherwise, without further ado, let's go into the diagram library. And we're going to do that by clicking on the library button here to bring up the diagram library window. I'm going to go ahead and make this window a little bit larger. Now you can see that there are basically two main panes here in the diagram library. On the left-hand side, we have all of our diagram collections, and the right-hand side is going to be the content of those collections. So I can very easily just click on, I have these two collections that I created earlier, one when I did the chord finder tutorial, another when I did the scale finder tutorial. So if I click on these collections, you will see the diagrams that they have saved in them. So here are the three diagrams, the three chords that I saved in the chord finder tutorial collection. And if I click on Scale Finder, here are the three scales that I saved earlier. Now it's important to note that as far as Chordious is concerned, these are just diagrams. It no longer remembers that this is a scale. In this case, this happened to be a C major scale on a C-tuned ukulele. As far as Chordious is concerned, this is just a diagram. It's just a fretboard diagram with different marks on it that have text in them. So it's really up to you to organize your collections in a way that keeps together the diagrams that you want, keep together and organize the way that you see fit. So in this case, I'd have these tutorial collections, but you could, for example, create collections for different instruments or collections for different tunings or even collections for different keys. It's all completely up to you. You have full flexibility in creating any number of collections that you want and naming them whatever you want. And you can, hopefully after this tutorial, be able to move and copy diagrams around between those collections to help keep them organized. So we have these two existing, and for this tutorial, I'm also going to start by creating a new collection that we can move some things into. So there are two ways to do that. We have these buttons down here in the bottom left. We have Add to create a new collection. We have Edit to rename an existing collection, and then we have Delete. These options are also available if you right-click in this left-hand pane. We have New, Edit, and Delete. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and hit New. We have a new collection here, and I'm going to name it Diagram Management Tutorial. Okay, now you'll see I have a new collection here that's completely empty. And what I want to do, I'm going to go to the chord finder tutorial. As you see here, if I click on Edit, I could rename it if I wanted to change it to something else. I'm going to leave it as it is, and if I click on Delete, I can delete that collection. No, I want to keep this collection for now. I'm going to go into chord finder tutorial, and to show how to move around diagrams, it is as simple as drag and drop. So I'm going to go ahead and hold Shift, and I'm going to select all of the diagrams in here. And let's say I want to copy all of these into the diagram management tutorial collection here. So I just pick them up, drag them over, and as you can see by default it wants to move them, but if I hold Control, that brings up the plus for me to copy. I'm holding Control on my keyboard and let go in diagram management tutorial. And now if we go in that one, we'll see I'm now in the diagram management tutorial, and we have those three copies of those diagrams there. Again, I'm going to go to the Scale Finder tutorial and do the same thing. Hold Shift, select all three, and then drag them over, and then hold Control. When I hold Control, it's going to copy them over, so I let go. And now if I go to the diagram tutorial, I now have all 6 diagrams, or copies of all 6. If I wanted to move these or copy them again into a brand new, say I didn't create a collection in advance, I just want to create one on the fly. I can go ahead and select all of them, again holding Shift, and now I can drag them over, hold Control, and over here into the open space, and it will ask me for a collection. So I can go ahead and pick an existing one, but in this case, I'm going to call it Diagram Management Tutorial Copy. Hit OK. And there we go, Diagram Management Tutorial Copy. Now has a copy of those, so I now have 2 copies of this. Conversely, if I don't want a copy, I can just not hold control. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these again. Let's say I move it in here. I'm going to move it into its own new collection. Or let's say, instead of selecting all of them, I'm just going to grab the G here, the G chord, and the G major scale, holding control to select just these 2. I want to move them into a G collection. So I'm going to drag them over here and let go. And we're going to call this ukulele G. Hit OK. And now those 2 are in ukulele G. And if we go back to the DMT copy, you'll see I've actually moved them so they're no longer available in here. Let's say I don't even want this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and click on this collection, and I'm going to hit delete. Yes, I want to delete that collection. Now that collection is completely gone. Now I just have these here in ukulele G. Now let's say I want to go back into diagram management. Again, now I want to create a ukulele C collection. I can just as easily grab these 2, drag them over. I'm going to use copy and create a new one called ukulele C. There we go. Now I have a ukulele C collection. I've copied them out of here, so I still have these originals in here. Okay. Now let's say I'm in this collection and I just want to create a copy of this. I can click here. If I right click, bring up some of the more options. I have clone, copy, and move. So this is the same thing as dragging them in between different collections, except this is just in the right click menu, if this is what you'd rather use. So I'm going to go ahead and hit clone, and that just creates a copy right here in the same collection. And likewise, if I don't want this anymore, I can click on it, and I can click on delete either here or in the right click menu. So go ahead and delete that diagram. Now, there are other things in the diagram library that you can do, and I'm going to cover those in later videos. We have style editing, we have exporting, but I'm going to cover those in later tutorial videos. One final thing that I'll talk about, though, is there are the other options that are available in the right-click menu. If I right-click on one of these diagrams, you can see I can copy things to the clipboard. I can copy the image to the clipboard, and so just like in the chord finder and the scale finder, where you can copy things, copy the diagrams to the clipboard, so you can paste them in Word or your other documents. You can also copy and paste them directly in the diagram library. That means you can also press Control-C on your keyboard and copy and paste them into your document. It also means that you can drag and drop the diagrams directly out of the library into your documents, just like you can with the chord finder and the scale finder. So that's basically it. We now have these multiple collections here that I've saved off. I've got a copy of things here, and I can do this and find all the chords and all the scales that I want in Chordious and organize them however I see fit in the diagram library. And then when I need to put the diagrams into documents, I can simply have Chordious open and just drag the images or copy and paste them directly out of the diagram library into my documents. So I don't have to always go into the chord finder or scale finder and search for them anew every time. I can save off the ones that I use all the time and always have them ready to drag and drop or copy and paste into my documents. And I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.